So this is the example where we can understand that here the circular shape is there. It means it is a cylinder or pipe case having 50 mm diameter. So I have shown here in this diagram, this is the pipe and having some thickness. So it is a part of inner pipe and it is the outer pipe, right? So the diameter is given means inner diameter is given. So inner diameter is 50 mm, right? Then the outer diameter can be calculated with the help of this thickness because 3 mm thickness is given. So this diameter plus 3 plus 3, right? So 56 diameter for the outer pipe of the cylinder. Then they have given there are two layers. So this is one layer represented by red color and second layer is represented by violet color. So this inner layer, that first is 25 mm thick. So I have shown here, this is the thickness of this layer. This is inner pipe, this is outer pipe. Now it is the first insulation layer and having 25 mm thickness, right? Then the second layer is there, outer layer 40 mm thick. So this is second layer I have shown here. So it is 40 mm thick and it is the outer layer, right? So they are the inner and outer layer having the thermal conductivity 0.08 and 0.04 respectively, right? So this is this layer, second layer, value K 0.04 watt per meter Kelvin, and the inner layer value is K equal to 0.08 watt per meter Kelvin. So the respective values of thermal conductivities are also given. Then the thicknesses are given. Now we have to calculate this Q, right? So for the calculation of Q, we must know the final equation for the cylinder case. As it is a circular, it means it is a pipe. So it is a cylinder case. So Q is nothing but delta T upon R. That is the rate of heat transfer is always the ratio of driving force to the thermal resistance. But this R is nothing but R1 plus R2 plus R3 in this case. How it is? Because in this case the pipe is there, so it means it is the first resistance. Then here layer is there, inner layer of insulation, the second resistance, and outer layer it means third resistance. So there are three resistances, that is thermal resistances in this case. That is why this R should be calculated in terms of R1 plus R2 plus R3, right? So this is the first point where you should know there are three resistances. Then how to calculate these three resistances? So the first case is R1. Now it is cylinder case. So the thermal resistance can be written in form of R2 minus R1 upon K AM and T. So this is R2 minus R1 upon KAM. So this is the thermal resistance for the cylinder. Now we know that the log mean area for the cylinder is 2 pi RML, right? So this K can be represented for as a K1 for this R1 case and for this RM1. So what is the log mean radius for the cylinder again? So this can be represented as R2 minus R1 upon ln of R2 by R1. So this is the concept we have discussed earlier, that log mean radius for the cylinder is the difference between the radiuses, that is R2 minus R1, and the log ratio to the log ratio of radius again. So R2 by R1. So here if it is R2, then it should be R2. then minus R1, then it is divided by R1. Now, if you know the R1, R2 values, then we can calculate RM1. If you know this RM1 value, then we can calculate this AM by assuming L equal to 1 meter, because in the numerical they haven't mentioned about the length. So we have to assume this length as a 1 meter. So we can calculate this AM on the basis of this RM1. And if you put this AM value in this equation for the R1, we can calculate this capital R1 because this thermal conductivity is given in the numerical, right? So the first step or objective should be to find out what is R1 and what is R2 for the R1, right? So for the thermal resistance of the pipe, so it is the resistance of the pipe only. The second case is for the inner layer, third case is for the outer layer. But for the pipe resistances, thermal resistances, we have to calculate R1 and R2 first. So the diameter is given for this pipe. So on the basis of diameter, the inner radius is nothing but 50 by 2, that is 25 mm. That is 0.025 meter or 25 into 10 raised to minus 3 meter, right? So this is the R1 case. Now what is R2? So this is R1 and this is R2 now. So for this case, this radius, that is inner radius plus thickness. So this thickness is 3 mm. So obviously this 25 mm inner radius, that is R1 plus 3 mm, that is 28 mm, that is 0.028 meter, right? So now we know the R1, we know the R2. We can put this R1, R2 values in the RM1 equation, and on the basis of this we can calculate RM1. Then on the basis of RM1 we can calculate AM. On the basis of AM we can calculate R1. So I'm not going to calculate each and every step, but I will give the value of R1 directly. So capital R1 is 0.00040 Kelvin by watt. So on the basis of all R1 and R2, we can calculate the capital R1 value, right? So in the similar way, we can calculate the second resistance, that is inner layer resistance, and it is represented by R2, right? So how to calculate R2? We know R2 minus R1 upon K2 now. For this R2, I am writing K2 and AM2. So this is the basic criteria for the thermal resistance. Now what is AM2? So that is 2 pi RM2L. Now what is RM2? That is R2 minus R1 upon ln of R2 by R1. But what are the values of small r1 and R2 for this second thermal resistance, right? Because in the previous case, that the small r1 and R2 are the inner radius and outer radius of the pipe. Now for the inner layer case, the radiuses are different. If you observe this diagram again, please note that now we are talking about this layer, right? So for this layer, this is the inner radius and this is the outer radius. right? So the outer radius of the pipe is the inner radius for the inner layer case, and the outer radius for the inner layer is outer radius of this pipe plus thickness, right? So we have already calculated the outer radius of the pipe is 0.028 meter. So that value becomes R1 for the inner layer of insulating material, right? Now to calculate the R2, the thickness of insulating material is given 25 mm. So this 0.028 meter plus 25 mm is 0.025 meter, that is 0.053 meter is the value of R2, right? So that is very important to calculate the values of R1 and R2. So for that purpose, you should draw the diagram first, and on the basis of diagram, you can easily find out the radiuses or radia for that R1 and R2 values for different resistances, because we have mentioned the same symbols, that is R1 and R2. But this R1 and R2 for the first thermal resistance is different, that is for pipe, and this R1 and R2 are different, that is for the inner layer of insulation. And on the basis of this R1 R2 values, we can calculate RM2, and on the basis of RM2 we can calculate AM2, on the basis of AM2 we can calculate capital R2. So the value of capital R2 comes to 1.2688 Kelvin per watt. So this is the second thermal resistance. And now for third thermal resistance, that is outer layer, represented by capital R3. So again, you should observe this diagram for the outer layer. So this outer radius of the inner layer, this outer radius of this inner layer is the inner radius for this outer layer. And after adding this thickness, this becomes outer radius for the outer layer, right? So you should observe the diagram carefully. Now the outer radius of this inner layer becomes inner radius, that is 0.053 meter, and R2 becomes the addition of thickness in the 0.053. What is the thickness? 40 mm. So that is 0.040 meter. So this small r2 becomes 0.093 meter. Now we know the values of small r1, r2. We can calculate the RM3, that is R2 minus R1 upon ln of R2 by R1. Now on the basis of this RM3 value, we can calculate the AM3, that is 2 pi RM3L. And on the basis of this AM3, we can calculate the capital R3, that is R2 minus R1 upon K3 AM3, right? So you can calculate the capital R3 and it comes to 2.2385 Kelvin per watt, right? So this is the value for R3. This is the value for R2 and this is the value for R1. Now we know that this R1, capital R1, R2 and R3 values. If we add these R1, R2, R3 values, then it gives us the value of capital R, that is total thermal resistance. And after taking this total R, can put in the equation of Q and we can calculate the Q, that is delta T upon R. So we have to put this value, that is of R1, R2 and R3, and we get the value of Q. So the capital R equal to R1 plus R2 plus R3. So the value of R1 is 0.00040 Kelvin per watt plus the value of R2 is 1.2688 and the value of R3 is 2.2385 in Kelvin per watt. So the final value of R can be calculated, and on the basis of this value you can calculate the value of Q, that is delta T upon R. So delta T is the overall temperature drop. In the numerical it is given that the temperatures are 550 and 330, right? So we can put the value of delta T, that is temperatures T1, T2, and the value of R, that total bracket or the final value of R, and we get the value of Q as 62.7
62.85
watt per meter.